Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your weekly Friday night entertainment. Emanating from the stomping grounds of the multi-time Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the T-Mobile Arena as we are live here in Kansas City, Missouri for this week's edition of Friday Night SmackDown. Every Friday night, the blue brand is where you want to be. And here tonight, we are going to continue the push towards Battleground as the blue brand is ready to take center stage here tonight in the T-Mobile Arena. As you can see, we are sold out. The Kansas City, Missouri crowd is ready to get things going here tonight. A lot of action will transpire in the middle of that 20 by 20 box. So without further ado, let's get things underway. And I couldn't think of a better way to kick things off here tonight with the American Nightmare, one of the poster boys of the business. Cody Rhodes is here to greet and welcome you to Friday Night SmackDown. You can hear the WWE Universe here tonight singing the song. This song that has just captivated the WWE Universe ever since Cody Rhodes' return. As you can see, Cody, he's got the suit on here tonight. He's got the suit on here tonight, which means it seems like Cody Rhodes has something that he wants to get off his chest, and that is exactly what he is marching down the ring to do. Of course, as we know, Cody Rhodes, a couple of weeks back at Backlash, was a part of the Fatal 4-Way matchup to determine the WWE Undisputed Champion. Unfortunately, Cody Rhodes unsuccessful. Maybe he'll touch on that a little bit. Maybe he's going to try to find a way to get back to the WWE Championship, or maybe it's something else nagging at the back of Cody's mind. It is going to be interesting to see what is on the mind of the American Nightmare as we kick things off here tonight. A very raucous crowd, happy to see Cody Rhodes in the building. But the question is, what is Cody Rhodes here to talk about with the WWE Universe? Big words from the American Nightmare. It seems like Cody is coming after Drew McIntyre and Finn Balor. Well, I guess he won't have to wait because Drew McIntyre is coming out here. Oh, wait a minute. Drew McIntyre from behind with the cheap shot. Well, Cody Rhodes went into detail about his issues with Drew McIntyre and Finn Balor. It just seems these three have been at each other's necks basically all year so far, and it's only been about a month and some change. Finn Balor now. His music has hit, he's rushing towards the ring, and he takes down the Scottish Warrior. Well, this is a very hot start to the show here tonight. These three men once again trying to tear each other apart. Well, while we try to restore some order here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Finn Balor and Drew McIntyre, their night is not done here tonight because later tonight in our main event, I guess we just got a little bit of a mini preview, but it will be Finn Balor, the Prince of the Judgment Day, going 1v1 with the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre. This one has been building for about a couple of weeks or so here on SmackDown. Also here tonight, the Street Profits, after being unsuccessful at capturing the WWE Tag Team titles at Backlash and the Tag Team Championship Tournament Finals, they are back in action as Ford and Dawkins take on Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate of the New Catch Republic. That is sure to be a good one there here tonight. But kicking us off in moments, ladies and gentlemen, Kelani Jordan. We saw her in her official SmackDown debut last week, getting the upset over Tiffany Stratton. And she is back in action once again here tonight in a few short moments, as Kelani Jordan goes one-on-one with Kiana James to kick things off here tonight. And here comes the outstanding NXT standout for yet her second match on the blue brand.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring from Boynton Beach, Florida, Kelani Jordan.
There's been a lot of buzz about this young lady ever since last week, ladies and gentlemen. Kelani Jordan has really taken the WWE Universe by storm. Her first appearance on the blue brand last week, picking up a win over a former women's champion. And we all know the future is very, very bright for Kelani Jordan. Of course, the inaugural Women's North American champion down in her time in NXT. So we know she is capable of big things, and now it is just time for her to showcase that here on the blue brand. And she's got another opportunity to do that here tonight. The opportunity against a woman that has been looking to break through that glass ceiling here on SmackDown as well. Business is about to pick up. I guess it's KJ versus KJ here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of fun banter there, but regardless, Kiana James, a former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion, but unfortunately she has not been able to grab the single success that she has wanted. Tonight could be the start of that, though. She is able to get past Kelani Jordan. We all know that Kiana James, very, very talented, possibly one of the strongest women we have in the WWE locker room today. So both of these women have the opportunity to showcase their abilities here tonight in the T-Mobile Arena. Here we go. We are underway to kick things off with action here on SmackDown. And out of the gate, it's Kiana James doing whatever she can to slow down Kelani Jordan. Coming out of the woodworks, looking pretty good so far, is Kiana. Now, Kelani Jordan has a hold of Kiana's foot. It's all face first. Into the canvas goes Kiana James. Big reversal there by Kelani Jordan as she now tries to fight her way back into this matchup. And a nice jawbreaker there. Downs Kiana James. Of course, Kelani Jordan has the WWE Universe's backing, especially after what happened last week. Many people already saying that this woman is a future WrestleMania main eventer, maybe. Future Women's World Champion. We will see if she can live up to that potential as she starts to get things going here on the blue brand. Now Kiana has to roll to the outside. Kelani Jordan going to the top rope. Instead, she opts to do something else off the second rope with a moonsault. Down onto Kiana James, and this is a great start here for the standout. Can she capitalize on such a big maneuver? As now Kelani gets Kiana back into the middle of the ring. And now heading to the top rope, possibly looking to get back to her original plan is, oh, well, it didn't work out that time. Kelani ate the canvas, and now Kiana James with a big neck breaker. Jumping neck breaker by Kiana. Right now you can see Kiana James starting to bully around Kelani Jordan just a little bit. We all know, Kiana James, I almost said Kelani, but we all know Kiana James very aggressive, and she loves to take control. You're going to go at her pace whether you like it or not. We can see that transpiring right here, right now, as Kiana James with a nice snap suplex follows into the cover here on Kelani Jordan. There's a kick out. Not enough for Miss James to pick up the win here tonight. Now Kiana sending Kelani into the corner. And now puts her in the tree of woe. This is not where Kelani Jordan wants to be. As now look at this. Just Kiana James pushing the foot into the face of Kelani Jordan. And now Kiana, what's the game plan? Here, there's a nice back elbow there. Running back elbow by Kiana James. It landed flush, too, into the cover now on Kelani. And it's another 2 count. But not as much oomph on that kick out by Kelani Jordan that time around. The damage that Kiana is dealing must start to be weighing down on Kelani Jordan. Gotta say, Kiana James has looked pretty good in this matchup. Had the nice start, and then now has the control here on the standout. Has continued to bully Kelani Jordan around the ring. So far, so good right now for Kiana James. See Kelani Jordan busted open there a little bit. As now, oh, wait a minute. Kelani Jordan now maybe starting to fight back into this contest. Not going to allow Kiana James to get too carried away. Into the corner goes Kiana. And now Kelani, what's she going to do here? Looking for that body slam. She got it. Big body slam. And now Kelani Jordan to the top rope. Kelani, oh, a swanton bomb. Big swanton there by Kelani Jordan as she tries to get the WWE Universe back into this match. And now there's a snapmare by Kelani. Running the ropes into the crossbody. Down goes Kiana James. All out of sorts right now is Miss James. Big punch there. Down goes Kiana once again. And now Kelani Jordan. Oh my goodness, a leg drop there. Very innovative leg drop. Jordan starting to feel it here. What is Kelani possibly looking to do right here, right now? And there's the Hurricane Rana into the Luthes press by Kelani Jordan. And now Kelani has a hold of Kiana, but that knee got her right on the temple. Now big super kick by Kiana James, and look at this gut wrench. Oh my God! The gut wrench German by Kiana James. There's the strength that we talked about earlier, but it's not going to get her the win right there. A close 2 count. That was nearly a 3. If the referee got in position just a tad bit sooner, that possibly could have won the match. Kiana, though, not going to fret. She's going to get Kelani right back into the ring and continue the assault. Here comes Kiana James now with the hold of Kelani Jordan, bringing her to the corner. There's big back elbow there by Kelani Jordan. Oh my goodness, that that wheelbarrow kick right there. And now Kelani Jordan to the top. 450 splash. 450 splash there by Kelani Jordan. Can the standout pick up the victory right here, right now? And there's a kick out by Kiana. Kiana James still in the matchup. These two ladies giving it their all in this one. Another super kick there by Kiana James. Now off the ropes goes Kelani. And oh my goodness, spine on the pine. A big spine buster. And now what does Kiana James do now? Talking a little bit of trash. As protect your neck. Kalani's in trouble. Kiana James looking for the huge win here, and it's not going to happen here either. You can see the frustration starting to pour out of Kiana James. She thought she had the matchup won right there. But unfortunately for her, Kelani Jordan still has some fight left. Oh my God, just dumps her to the outside. And now what is Kiana James planning to do here? Kelani Jordan still all out of sorts on the outside. Now starting to stir. Kiana James has a hold of Kelani, brings her back in the middle of the ring. Kelani now starting to stir, starting to get back to her feet, but catches the strike of Kiana James as she tried to catch her off guard. Big forearm there by Kelani. Off the ropes goes Kiana, and now Kelani Jordan standing Spanish fly. What a maneuver by Miss Jordan. Kelani has Kiana all out of sorts. Now to the corner, and oh boy, Kiana James is in position. Could she be looking for that split-legged moonsault? Does Kelani Jordan. That's another victory for the standout. That's 2 victories in 2 straight weeks for Kelani Jordan. What a hot start for her in her SmackDown career. Kiana James, I guess her blueprints and her business strategy did not work here tonight, because Kelani Jordan can now say she is 2-0 here on the blue brand. She is opening eyes, she is turning heads, and Kelani Jordan is here to do one thing and one thing only, and that's make a name for herself. Well, I mean, Kelani Jordan, she has to feel ecstatic. Not only taking down Kiana James here tonight, but also taking down Tiffany Stratton last week. Both were very quality performances. This woman is quickly making herself a household name here on the blue brand. A great matchup to kick things off here when it comes to action. Wait a minute here. Well, that's the juggernaut Jordan Grace getting face-to-face with Kelani Jordan. Well, I guess Jordan Grace sees Kelani Jordan making a name for herself, and I guess she wants to take a shot at her. Well, I gotta say, I would love to see this matchup, and I'm sure a lot of people would, but Kelani Jordan gets the victory and celebrates. Back live here on Friday Night SmackDown in Kansas City. And we are getting set for tag team action.
The following contest is a tag team match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Dublin, England, weighing in at 175 pounds,
The big strong boy is ready to go here tonight. And unfortunately, him and his tag team partner have not been on the same page as of late. I guess they don't have the same vision of how they want to get things done. But regardless, they are still very formidable competitors. So the Street Profits need to watch out here tonight. Tyler Bate is fired up, and he is ready to go, and he is looking for a huge tag team victory here tonight. And I guess this man is tired of waiting for that.
And his partner from Birmingham, England, weighing in at 205 pounds, the Bruiserweight, Pete Dunne.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, you can clearly see the two different dynamics when it comes to Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. You know, Tyler Bate, happy-go-lucky. He's going to respect you before the bell and after the bell, and he's going to give you the respect you deserve. It's way different with this man right here. Pete Dunne is willing to do anything it takes to get a victory. He doesn't care who you are, and he might not respect you at the end of the day. And I guess that's why these two have kind of, not really worked out as of late. The wins just have not been coming to the New Catch Republic the way they thought they would. And I guess this man, Pete Dunne, is starting to get a little impatient with this tag team right here. So hopefully tonight can be the night that they put everything together. Of course, these two still very good friends, but at some point in this business, you got to do what you got to do. But here come two men that were screwed over at Backlash, and now they had to work their way back from the bottom to get back to the WWE Tag Team Championships. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins are back in the middle of the squared circle. It's back to the bottom of the food chain for these two. But if anybody's going to be able to work their way back to tag team title contention, it would be these two individuals right here. Of course, former WWE Tag Team Champions in their own right, Triple Crown Tag Team Champions. These two know a thing or two about becoming the kingpins of the division. And they almost became the kingpins of the division once again before Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, our current WWE Tag Team Champions, screwed them over by exposing the turnbuckle padding. Of course, you knew that night that Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins knew that they let one slip, but they're not going to dwell on it. They're going to get back up. They're going to work even harder. And now they're here tonight on their path back to the top. This is going to be a great tag team matchup here tonight. We got Tyler Bate starting things off with Montez Ford as this one gets underway. Montez and Tyler Bate getting ready to give us a show. As you can see right here, Montez Ford wailing on some strikes and they're off the ropes. Oh, Tyler Bate got the knee up. Now here comes Tyler Bate. No, Montez Ford, the reversal. And now there's a nice takedown. Back and forth affair to start this contest here tonight. Now here comes Montez Ford again with the quick strikes. Now into the corner goes Tyler Bate. We got a tag here by Montez. And now here's the usual Street Profits shenanigans. But when they do that, they have the right to because they usually get the job done. Now Angelo Dawkins, the big man, is now the legal competitor. Has Tyler Bate on his shoulders. Oh, man, a big slam right there. And I followed up with the running elbow drop. Rolling over Tyler Bate and hooking the leg. The big strong boy in trouble gets the kick out, though. Not enough for Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford to secure the victory. Of course, early stages of the matchup here, so there should be a lot left in Tyler Bate. Oh, man, caught Angelo Dawkins with that quick jab right there. And now Tyler Bate with a snap suplex. Takes down the big man. And now he gets the tag to the Bruiserweight. Oh, my God. You can hear just the different fan reactions between Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. Of course, the WWE Universe more well-liked for Tyler Bate, it seems. They like Tyler Bate a lot more than they like this current version we're getting out of the Bruiserweight. And now Pete Dunne, I don't think he really cares about what the WWE Universe thinks. He's just going to come in and do what he has to do his job. It's, oh my God. You can see when Pete Dunne gets in the ring, ladies and gentlemen, the offense just gets a little bit more brutal. It's a little bit more hard to watch. But here's Angelo Dawkins catching Pete Dunne off the second rope and gets him into the backbreaker. And now here comes Big Dogs raining down some strikes. Pete Dunne, though, able to reverse. There's a nice enziguri to the back of the head. And that caught Angelo Dawkins all types of off guard. Oh, my goodness. Montez Ford taken off the apron by the Bruiserweight. And this is where the isolation begins. There's a tag by the New Catch Republic. And now off the ropes. What's going to happen here? An assisted hip toss there. Double hip toss by Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. Big chop there by Tyler Bate, and another one to Angelo Dawkins. As, oh my goodness, he takes it to the outside. So wait a minute here. Referee's got his back turned. Pete Dunne's in the ring. Angelo Dawkins has to try to fight off Pete Dunne. There's a big spear. Well, Pete Dunne, he tried it. He really did try it, ladies and gentlemen. He tried to get the cheap shot, and it did not work. He got speared for his troubles. That's part of probably the reason why the WWE Universe has not, warmed up to Pete Dunne as of late, but also probably the reason why the New Catch Republic haven't been on the same page, why they haven't been able to rack up wins. Pete Dunne has his own strategy, Tyler Bate has his own, and they never try to link their two strategies together to make it work. As right now, Montez Ford is fired up with the WWE Universe as he has Tyler Bate down. And now here's Montez Ford, rock bottom or a bookend, whichever one you want to call it. Tyler Bate having to roll to the outside, but Montez Ford, he is not going to let that stop him. He's looking to fly over the ropes and down onto the big strong boy. And right now, the Street Profits are in control of this tag team contest. Back into the ring goes Tyler Bate. Ford to the top rope, looking for the elbow drop, but unfortunately could not get it to go as Tyler Bate was able to roll out of the way and followed up with the uppercut. Into the corner now goes Ford, and another clothesline there by Tyler Bate. Now Tyler Bate will head to the top rope himself. What's he looking to do here? With the knee drop down onto Ford. Looking for the cover, but Angelo Dawkins breaking it up almost immediately. Getting the tag now to Pete Dunne, the Bruiserweight, back into the equation. Now look at this, just dissecting the limbs here of Montez Ford, stomping on the shoulder blade and the arm. My God, that could have broken Tez's arm or something. And now Pete Dunne possibly looking for that X-Plex, but Montez Ford able to stop himself, not going to allow Pete Dunne to get that off. Into the snapmare. And now, a neck snap. And now Montez, what's the game plan here? Big enziguri to the back of the head. Down goes Pete Dunne. Montez now heading to the top rope. He's feeling it as Pete Dunne gets back to his feet. Big blockbuster. Into the cover, hooking the leg of the Bruiserweight, but Tyler Bate is there to save his good friend and tag team partner. Things are still alive here for the New Catch Republic, but for how much longer, as there's a tag back to Big Docs. Well, look at this, Pete Dunne apparently falling for the same thing that Tyler Bate fell for earlier at the start of the matchup. You would think, he was standing right there and watching it, that he would have, took some notes and not fallen for it, but I guess he just didn't. That just did not happen. Angelo Dawkins in the corner now. Pete Dunne looking for the tree of woe, and he's got it here. Angelo in huge trouble. Pete Dunne looking to get a running start. Oh my God, drilling the knee into the abdomen. Now to the second rope goes Pete Dunne, following up with a big knee drop. He gets the tag. Tyler Bate now enters the equation. Now him and Pete Dunne having a little bit of a conversation there, possibly a little bit of a disagreement by the New Catch Republic. They can't start getting into disagreements now. They've got to, they had the momentum. Now Angelo Dawkins is now starting to fight back into this matchup. There's a flapjack. Well, that little miscommunication or disagreement, whatever the hell it was, it just cost New Catch Republic all the momentum they were just building. It's all Pete Dunne taking off the apron once again. Big punch there by Big Dogs. Gets the tag to Montez Ford. What's going to happen here? Looking to use Montez as his own weapon. Big splash in the corner. And now clothesline by Angelo Dawkins. Nearly took Tyler Bates' head off. Cover here by Montez Ford, looking for the victory, and it's not going to come right there. That's a kick out. As Tyler Bate able to get the tag to Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne looking for some offense, gets a big chop. Now what the hell is this? Montez now on the apron. Oh dear. Pete Dunne with that draping DDT. Into the cover now. It's not enough. Kick out at 2. Still a lot left in Montez. Cheap shot there by Pete Dunne. Kick to the gut. Wait a minute. Pete Dunne looking for the street. Well, wait a minute. Whoa, my goodness. Well, I thought he was going for a bitter end, but instead, he gave a little bit of a driver of some sorts. Now, a slingshot DDT down onto the apron. Dogs is taken out. This could be the win that New Catch Republic has been searching for. No, it's not. Oh my goodness, that is not going to make Pete Dunne happy. And now, what is he doing now? Arguing with Tyler Bate again. Taking his eye off the ball. Wait a minute. Montez Ford from behind. And the Street Profits steal it. Oh no. Well, it is not going to be a happy camp in the locker room when the New Catch Republic get back there. I don't understand what Pete Dunne was so mad about. Why was he arguing with Tyler Bate at the end of the match? Once again, the contrasting styles seem to cost the New Catch Republic. Well, I mean, not to take anything away from this victory for the Street Profits. They certainly earned it. But there are going to have to be some conversations between Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. But regardless, the Street Profits are victorious here tonight, and they get one step closer back to the tag team titles. But let's take a look back at last week, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about it a little earlier tonight. Kelani Jordan went one-on-one with Tiffany Stratton. And of course, as we all know, Tiffany Stratton has had a big issue with Blake Monroe ever since a couple of weeks ago. After Tiffany picked up a huge win, we would see Blake Monroe interrupt Tiffany while she was speaking after the matchup and basically saying that there was no need for Tiffany Stratton here anymore. And ever since then, Tiffany has been looking around for Blake Monroe. She thought she would be there this last week, but instead, she got the answer from Kelani Jordan, which led to this matchup right here. And in the midst of this highly competitive matchup, the music of the glamour would hit, and Blake Monroe would make herself known, showing her face to Tiffany Stratton, which ultimately costed Tiffany the matchup last week. Blake Monroe has been in the head of the center of the universe. She has been in the head of Tiffany Stratton. And at some point, ladies and gentlemen, something's got to be done about it.
Glamour is forever.
Well, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Blake Monroe is in the building. And she has some mic time. And I guess we're going to get a little bit of an explanation. Blake Monroe is here to speak to the WWE Universe. And I guess she will touch on this little Tiffany Stratton problem I guess she has found herself in. Of course, Blake Monroe saying that she is the new toy that the WWE Universe can look forward to here on SmackDown. And she is here tonight. Of course, flaunting her stuff as she always is. Blake Monroe is in the building, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to see exactly just what she has to say about this whole ordeal that has been going down with Tiffany Stratton. So wait a minute, Tiffany Stratton ran down the ramp and she is attacking Blake Monroe. And Blake Monroe getting out of town here. Well, I guess we won't be hearing from Blake Monroe here tonight as Tiffany Stratton gets a little bit of payback. Well, ladies and gentlemen, live from the Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas, it is the Battleground Premium Live event. It is coming up very quickly, very shortly here in the WWE calendar. And of course, as we know, the undisputed WWE Championship, the match was already signed. Randy Orton doing a favor for his good friend Sami Zayn, giving him an opportunity to fight for the WWE Championship, and that is exactly what will go down at Battleground. Randy Orton defends the title against Sami Zayn. And of course, a little bit of breaking news after what transpired this past Monday on Raw. The megastar will get his shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. We all know LA Knight will be involved in a tag team matchup with CM Punk against Imperium, but at Battleground, the champion Gunther will put the title on the line against LA Knight. And of course, another announcement that we have here, ladies and gentlemen, just 2 weeks after the Battleground Premium Live event will commence, we will have Saturday night's main event live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in the Xfinity Mobile Arena. And another big announcement we can have for that night is that the Women's Tag Team Championships, the Women's United States Championship, and the Women's Intercontinental Championship, every championship will have a winner. Every champion will be crowned at Saturday night's main event just 2 weeks after the Battleground Premium Live event. Big things going on here in the WWE. But back live here on SmackDown, Candice LeRae is ready for in-ring competition. And with that announcement, maybe, just maybe, that piqued the interest of the Poison Pixie. But Candice LeRae is in action after she let her mouth get her in a little bit of trouble. She ran her mouth last week to a very pissed off Bianca Belair, and now she finds herself in the middle of the squared circle, one-on-one with the EST of WWE. And I will say, this woman, she's got a lot that she should be pissed off about. Long story short, ladies and gentlemen, Jade Cargill got the microphone last week and gave the explanation as to why she cost Bianca Belair the WWE Women's Championship back at Backlash. And to keep it short, she basically said that she feels she was betrayed by Bianca. And Bianca calling that all a lot of BS. And Candice LeRae, I guess it was just wrong place, wrong time. Bianca Belair was not having it. And now here we are tonight, Bianca Belair and Candice LeRae, excuse me, my goodness. Fumbling over the words here. Let me try this again. Bianca Belair and Candice LeRae, there we go. Bianca Belair and Candice LeRae will now lock it up here in the middle of the squared circle. Candice LeRae getting a flurry of strikes in to start the matchup, but Bianca Belair with one quick punch already downs the Poison Pixie. Of course, Candice LeRae, like we said, running her mouth last week, got her in this predicament here tonight. Basically, I guess you could say, twisting the knife that was already in the back of Bianca Belair and instigating with her words, and Bianca clearly wasn't having it, and now here we are tonight, and Candice LeRae, I mean, you put yourself in this position, you laid your bed, now you gotta sleep in it. Here's Bianca with a big splash. So far, so good for the EST here tonight. And now Bianca's got a hold of Candice. Candice, though, able to fight out of that into the reverse DDT. Of course, Candice LeRae, many WWE Universe fans, and of course, along the wrestling community, say that she is the most underappreciated and underrated woman here in the WWE. Doesn't get used as much as she should, that a lot of people say. I think I got to kind of agree with that, even though I don't like the way her husband, and Tommaso Ciampa handle their business and do their antics. She is way too talented just to be sitting on the backside. So hopefully here tonight, this can open the eyes of the WWE officials to get her out here a lot more. As there's a slam, though, by Bianca Belair. Candice LeRae making every single second of this opportunity count. That is what she is trying to do here tonight. As now look at the power of Bianca Belair, just dropping Candice down onto the canvas. Candice LeRae looking worse for wear right now. Using the ropes to pull herself up. Bianca now, oh my goodness, a hot shot by Candice LeRae. Now looks like she is trying to fight her way back into the matchup. Oh, there's a running forearm in the corner. And now Candice LeRae starting to try to get the momentum back on her side here tonight. Now, wait a minute. What's Candice looking to do here? Oh, my goodness. The power of Candice LeRae. Look at Candice LeRae with that deadlift German suplex. That is the talent me and a lot of wrestling fans are talking about when we say we want a little bit more Candice LeRae. But unfortunately, it does not pick her up the win right there. Bianca Belair still has fight left in her. Bianca now in huge trouble. Candice with a snapmare off the rope, steps on Bianca, followed up with a drop kick. Sequence of offense by Candice into the senton off the bottom rope. Here comes the Poison Pixie. Misses wrestling, looking good right now. And now, oh dear. Well, Bianca Belair might be looking to put an end to the party here tonight. Face first goes Candice LeRae. And Candice LeRae is laid out, ladies and gentlemen. Big elbow to the back by Bianca Belair. The flurry of big offense by the EST. And now might be looking for the finishing touch. The piece of resistance with the kiss of death. Candice LeRae in the middle of the ring. The leg is hooked. Bianca Belair puts away the Poison Pixie. Well, I gotta say, Candice LeRae, she showed a lot of fight here tonight. She didn't make it that easy for Bianca Belair. But at the end of the day, the EST puts in the work, and she takes down Candice LeRae. And maybe, just maybe, Candice LeRae will think before she speaks in certain opportunities. Big win here tonight for Bianca Belair. Well, now that that's done, Bianca Belair can possibly now shift her focus 100% back to the problem at hand. That is Jade Cargill. Wait a minute. Well, Jade Cargill is in the building and she saw everything. And you can see Bianca Belair, she is hyped up. She is ready to throw down here tonight in the middle of Kansas City. Well, unfortunately for Bianca, we do have to move on. Let's take a look back at last week, ladies and gentlemen. The United States champion, Carmelo Hayes, of course, fresh off of winning the championship at Backlash, was out here and he was ready to throw down. He had the wrists taped and all. He had the gear on and he was ready for a matchup. He called out anybody, and that was when we would see Damian Priest answer the challenge, and we thought we were going to get a matchup between Priest and Melo, but that was when Trick Williams would make his presence known. We all know Trick Williams and Damian Priest have had some problems brewing over the past month or so, and this right here was a big thing. Trick Williams with a senton off the apron, putting Damian Priest right through that damn table. I think Damian Priest will be out for this week. We know he was not in the building earlier today, but this man, however, is in fact in the building, and he is here in the T-Mobile Arena to speak to the Kansas City faithful. Trick Williams, unapologetically himself. And tonight he is out here to speak his mind on his Damian Priest situation. Of course, as we all know, Damian Priest and Trick Williams were involved in an Eliminator triple threat match to see who would face Carmelo Hayes for the United States Championship at Backlash. Of course, neither man walking out of that matchup victorious. That matchup won by Ilya Dragunov. And a big detail, I guess, Trick Williams is upset that many people are forgetting is that Damian Priest, he got pinned in that matchup. Trick Williams was not involved in the decision. So it would be Ilya going on to face Carmelo Hayes at Backlash. And I guess seeing the sight of Damian Priest last week trying to accept the challenge of Carmelo Hayes struck a nerve in Trick Willie. And that is exactly why Trick Williams took matters into his own hands. Well, look at this now. Trick Williams calling out his former good friend Carmelo Hayes, calling out the United States champion, and Carmelo Hayes is going to oblige. Trick Williams stating that he took out Damian Priest, finally getting rid of his Damian Priest problem. Now he wants to focus on that United States championship that is around the waist of him. Well, this is going to be interesting. These two former best friends, it could get very, very heated. It could get very, very intense in a few short moments as Melo walks his way down the ramp. Well, it looks like Trick Williams got what he wanted. Next week, here on SmackDown, it'll be the United States Champion Carmelo Hayes one-on-one with Trick Williams. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we take another look back at last week here on Friday Night SmackDown. The WWE Women's Champion, the Judgment Day's Liv Morgan, would show face. Showing face after her triumphant victory over Bianca Belair at Backlash. And we all know what she did. What she usually does, she runs her mouth. She basically proclaimed herself the queen of the SmackDown Women's Division. She would run her mouth for so long that eventually this woman right here, Lyra Valkyria, she had heard enough, and she had come out here to confront the women's champion. And she basically told her that at some point that unchecked ego of hers would get checked and that Liv Morgan would be put in her place. Liv Morgan not playing into the antics of Lyra Valkyria, not letting Lyra have the last laugh. Basically calling Lyra Valkyria a failure and basically saying she has no business being in the ring with the champion. Lyra Valkyria would not take that lightly, and she would throw some jabs at Liv Morgan and the Judgment Day. Lyra Valkyria dropping a little bit of truth, and she said that their day of reckoning will come and the Judgment Day will fall, and she wanted Liv to know that Lyra would be the cause of it. Liv Morgan did not take lightly to the Judgment Day slander, striking Lyra Valkyria in the back of her head with the championship. Lyra tried to fight back, but the numbers game were just too much, and Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Roxanne Perez left Lyra Valkyria lying in the middle of the squared circle. Of course, later that night, Bayley would come out and help Lyra Valkyria, and then they had a tag team matchup against Roxanne and Raquel. And while she was unsuccessful on that night, Lyra Valkyria still has one mission in mind, and that is to take the WWE Women's Championship. The woman in question, Lyra Valkyria, is in the building here tonight in the T-Mobile Arena, and she is walking down the ramp because she has a few things she wants to get off her chest. Lyra Valkyria has said, that she will not sleep. She will not rest until she gets that WWE Women's Championship. She wants to pry that championship away from the Judgment Day, pry it away from Liv Morgan, and then she wants to slowly see the Judgment Day disintegrate, watch them lose power, and she wants to be the reason for it. Lyra Valkyria in the building here tonight, and it seems like she has a lot on her mind regarding Liv Morgan. Well, would you look at this, ladies and gentlemen? The roles have reversed this week. The WWE Women's Champion Liv Morgan now interrupting Lyra Valkyria here tonight. And I guess Liv Morgan was listening in on what Lyra had to say. Lyra saying whether Liv likes it or not, Lyra will eventually get that WWE Women's Championship matchup. And I guess Liv Morgan is coming out here to possibly put all those rumors to bed. Well, Liv Morgan coming out here throwing... Oh, my goodness! Well, Liv Morgan came out here throwing the insults that Lyra gave her right back at her this weekend. Lyra Valkyria's had enough. Liv Morgan tried to talk a little bit more trash, but Lyra was ready this week, and she clocks the champion over the skull with her own championship. And right now, it is Lyra Valkyria standing tall over Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan may have no choice to put matters into her own hands and to take out Lyra Valkyria by herself once and for all. To the outside goes Liv Morgan. Here comes Lyra Valkyria through the ropes, boots to the face. Lyra Valkyria is fired up. She wants that WWE Women's Championship, and she wants to take down Liv Morgan and the rest of the Judgment Day. Wait a minute here. Here comes the prodigy Roxanne Perez. Oh my God. Once again, the numbers of the Judgment Day seem to be getting the best of Lyra Valkyria. Well, now what the hell is going on here? Lyra is still down. Liv Morgan's back on her feet. Oh no. Liv Morgan directing traffic, telling Roxanne to take out Lyra Valkyria once and for all. Wait a minute! What's the beautiful madness, Julia? Julia saving Lyra Valkyria here tonight. Well, we knew that Julia at some point wanted the WWE Women's title, and now she's inserting herself into the equation. Well, a lot going on in the women's division, but coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, it is our main event of the evening. Finn Balor and Drew McIntyre. What the hell? Why is what the hell is going? Why is DIY's music playing? Well, that's one half of the tag team champions, Tommaso Ciampa. I'm looking at my rundown. I don't see no Tommaso Ciampa here on the show tonight. What the hell is going on right now? I mean, while Tommaso Ciampa is coming out here yapping about how DIY believes they're not getting the respect they deserve as our tag team champions, and now Nathan Frazier is showing face. What is going on here? This was not planned. As I said, looking at the rundown sheet, there's no Tommaso Ciampa and Nathan Frazier on this list. What in the world is going on right now? I'm so caught off guard. Whoa, wait a minute. What do you mean this match is happening right now? Well, there's the damn referee. Even Tommaso Ciampa is actually caught off guard. Well, the bell is rung. We're getting Nathan Frazier and Tommaso Ciampa right now. Can somebody check we have enough runtime for this? Okay, I guess this matchup is happening. Tommaso Ciampa, one half of the tag team champions, and Nathan Frazier. Tommaso Ciampa was out here basically saying him and Johnny deserve all the respect that everybody's been on their backs about how they've handled their business, and rightfully so, I may add. And then Nathan Frazier coming out here saying he would rather show Tommaso his fist than showing them respect. Nathan Frazier basically coming out here telling Tommaso there's no way you would think that everybody forgot about how you handle business against Fraxium and the Street Profits with exposing those turnbuckle paddings. And now I guess Nathan went to management. I guess they agreed to have at least one more match here tonight. I mean, we're here now. We might as well enjoy the graps while we have them. Nathan Frazier. Oh, he nearly didn't make it. But he made it to Tommaso Ciampa on that suicide dive. And now what is Nathan Frazier going to do here? On the apron now, Nathan Frazier, springboard moonsault down onto Tommaso Ciampa. Well, clearly Tommaso Ciampa wasn't ready for action here tonight. I mean, he had his gear on, but to him he wasn't ready, but I guess he was just at the right place at the wrong time. You had your gear on. Nathan Frazier, I guess, assumed you were ready for competition. And now Tommaso Ciampa with the quick roll-up, trying to get this one done early here, and we got a kick out by Nathan Frazier. What does Tommaso do? Now there's a discus forearm. As right now, one half of the tag team champions caught all the way off guard with this impromptu one-on-one matchup, the same as us here on commentary. We were also caught off guard. And now here comes Tommaso Ciampa with a running punch in the corner, and he's starting to feel it. Nathan Frazier out on his feet right now. Tommaso has him up into the body slam. And now Ciampa with the elbow drop. Into the cover now goes Tommaso Ciampa, looking to pick up this quick victory over Nathan Frazier. There's another kick out. And Tommaso starting to get a little bit furious now. Now Tommaso Ciampa arguing with the official, possibly telling him to count faster here. I thought that was a pretty good count myself. Wait a minute, Nathan Frazier, he's got the roll-up. Here's the cover. He's got the roll-up, and Tommaso Ciampa has lost. Can somebody check the records here? That might be the fastest match we've had so far this year. Nathan Frazier catching Tommaso Ciampa off guard, and he has just pinned one half of the WWE Tag Team Champions. This is not going to go over well in DIY's camp.
Here is your winner, Nathan Frazier.
Well, Tommaso Ciampa is beside himself, walking up the rep. Johnny Gargano is on the stage as well. They're trying to figure out what's going on. But Nathan Frazier, impromptu victory here tonight. And well, let's try this again, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully we get no interruptions this time. But coming up next is the main event of the evening here in Kansas City. The Judgment Day's Finn Balor, the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre, one-on-one. Tension could not be any higher. Well, of course, coming up in a few short weeks, ladies and gentlemen, live from the Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas, it is the Battleground Premium Live event. And this night is already shaping up and looking like a banger of a night, ladies and gentlemen, because the undisputed WWE Championship will be on the line, as this is a favor from the champion Randy Orton to his good friend in the challenger, Sami Zayn. And now these two are set to lock horns for the top prize on the blue brand. Orton, Zayn, undisputed championship on the line. This matchup was announced earlier tonight, but the megastar LA Knight, he will get his shot at the World Heavyweight Championship as he takes on Gunther one-on-one. These two will be involved in a tag team affair this coming Monday Night Raw, but LA Knight, Gunther in the middle of Dickies Arena for the World Heavyweight Championship. And we have some breaking news for Battleground, and I don't think the Judgment Day is going to like it very much. Liv Morgan has done a bit too much to try to take down Lyra Valkyria, and WWE officials are giving Lyra her match. She's got it. WWE Women's Championship on the line. Liv Morgan defends the gold against Lyra Valkyria. And also announced earlier tonight, 2 weeks after the Battleground Premium Live event. It is Saturday night's main event live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, with the women's tag team, United States, and Intercontinental Championships all on the line. A lot going down here in the WWE, but what is going down next week here on the Blue Brand, you ask? Well, this matchup was made official earlier tonight when Trick Williams laid out the challenge to his good old friend. It is the United States champion Carmelo Hayes one-on-one with Trick Williams. And also going down next week here on the Blue Brand. And I think these two ladies have a little bit more motivation now that they know that what is going down at Saturday night's main event, there's a lot more stakes in a lot of these matchups. Kelani Jordan with another matchup, and she goes one-on-one with the juggernaut, Jordan Grace. Also going down next week after the impromptu one-on-one matchup that Tommaso Ciampa just lost. Now we will see the other halves of the equations go one-on-one next week. It is going to be the whole shebang. Johnny Gargano going one-on-one with Axiom. Can Axiom pull off a big win for Fraxium over one half of the tag team champions? And then also, after Julia inserted herself in the Judgment Day war, this war against the Judgment Day, by helping Lyra Valkyria earlier tonight, she now has to reap the consequences. Julia goes one-on-one with the prodigy Roxanne Perez next week here on SmackDown. All that and more next week on the Blue Brand. My goodness, that was a mouthful when it comes to announcements, when it comes to Battleground, Saturday night's main event, and SmackDown next week. But we are not done here tonight. It is finally main event time here in the T-Mobile Arena. And here comes a man who has a lot to get off his chest.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, representing the Judgment Day from Bray, County Wicklow, Ireland, weighing in at 190 pounds, Finn Balor.
Well, finally, we're locking down Finn Balor and Drew McIntyre in a one-on-one matchup. All the bad blood between those two, finally, they're going to be able to let it all out here tonight. Obviously, I don't know if it will be the end of it here tonight, but we can at least put a little bit of a stamp on it. We can see who is the better man, at least for right now. Of course, this all started when they both knew they would be heading to Backlash to fight for the undisputed WWE Championship, and it escalated as Drew McIntyre and Finn Balor would continue to interact. Finn Balor telling Drew to stay away from Dominic versus Cody Rhodes, and obviously, as we know, Drew McIntyre did not listen, and now here we are. Neither man has the championship. Finn Balor let out his grievances about Drew McIntyre last week, and now they are finally going head-to-head here tonight in the middle of Kansas City, Missouri. As we now await the arrival of the Scottish Warriors. Oh, wait a minute. Well, it's a little bit of payback from earlier tonight. Now Drew McIntyre starting off hot on Finn Balor. Well, Finn Balor able to throw McIntyre off of him, but clearly McIntyre has the upper hand to start this contest. I don't know if anybody can really hear it, but the bell was rung, so here we go. This matchup is underway. McIntyre with a very hot start against Finn Balor. And we all know what McIntyre said, even though it wasn't him that got screwed over, really, if you think about it. But he said if the Judgment Day screwed him out of the WWE Championship, he would start hunting them down. I guess everybody's hunting each other, I guess. Drew McIntyre hunting down the Judgment Day. Finn Balor really mostly hunting down Drew McIntyre. And Cody Rhodes hunting down everybody. The hunters are becoming the hunted. Everybody is looking to take each other out. As now Finn Balor right now has the upper hand. The snapmare followed into the running kick. As here comes the Prince. We knew that this would be chaos in this main event, and that's exactly what we're getting. That fast start by McIntyre, paying Finn Balor back for when Balor rushed the ring earlier tonight and took out Drew. Now Finn Balor has McIntyre down. Big elbow to the small of the back by the Prince. And now Balor with the hold of McIntyre. Gonna put him on the ropes here, does Finn Balor. Now throws him down on the canvas and using the ropes, getting a little bit of more extra oomph on that stomp. And now Balor, what's he planning to do? Tried the chop, not going as McIntyre was able to fight out of that. Fighting out of the corner. Now here comes Drew McIntyre with some chops of his own. And now McIntyre with the release suplex, the suplex throw right there as Balor hits that mat of the 20x20 hard. And now there's the drop down, followed by the leapfrog. And now McIntyre with the overhead throw. Going for the cover. I think Balor's foot might be underneath that bottom rope. I guess not. And there's a kick out by Balor anyway. Referee Adrian Butler, I guess, giving McIntyre a little bit of leeway. I guess Balor's foot wasn't underneath the bottom rope as much as I thought. Right now, Drew McIntyre all over Finn Balor. And you got to think, McIntyre, he has been seething for this. He has been waiting for this to finally get his hands on Finn Balor. He is making the most of it right here, right now. Now sending Balor across the ring into the other corner. Oh my God, a big boot. A big boot by Drew McIntyre. Now what does McIntyre do? Going to send Balor to the outside. McIntyre looking to follow suit, staying on the apron, however. Referee Adrian Butler beginning the count. Here comes McIntyre off the apron with that diving clothesline. The WWE Universe has mixed emotions about both men. They don't know who to really cheer, who to really boo in this equation. They're just cheering or booing whoever they want, I guess. And that momentum could switch at any point in these matchups. They don't really know who to fully vote for in this. And Balor's going to break the count and going to reset the count for referee Adrian Butler. Now sending McIntyre into the barricade in front of the WWE Universe. And once again, back first goes McIntyre. Finn Balor starting to feel it here, starting to get himself back into the match. Balor with a double axe handle off the apron. And right now the Prince is in full control of the Scottish Warrior. You got to think wherever the American Nightmare is, probably on his bus, but Cody Rhodes is somewhere watching this matchup because he is coming for both of these men. After the DDT, Balor falling into the cover on Drew McIntyre, there's a kick out. McIntyre able to thrust the shoulder up. And now Balor has McIntyre. Oh my goodness, sweeping the leg into the STO. Now McIntyre using the ropes to get back to his feet. Balor. Oh, there's a chop right there. And another one from the Prince. Now Balor going to send McIntyre across the ring. Oh, and he took that buckle hard. And right now, Finn Balor all over the Scottish Warrior. What's Balor looking to do now? Going to head to the top rope is Finn Balor. And now Balor with a big knee drop there on Drew McIntyre. Hooking the leg is the Prince of the Judgment Day. And it's not going to work. A kick out at 2 from the Scottish Warrior. But Balor, though, still all over McIntyre in this contest. And now looking for this submission here. A little bit of a clover leaf. And he's got the knee in the back as well, does Finn Balor. What does Drew McIntyre do in this situation? Will we see the Scottish Warrior give up right here tonight? McIntyre, they would have switched his positioning, able to push Balor off of him. Big chop by McIntyre. Oh, there's a Glasgow kiss out of nowhere. Falling into the cover is McIntyre, but Finn Balor still has fight. McIntyre now. What's he planning to do here? Puts Balor on the rope. Now what the hell is going on here? McIntyre. Oh my goodness! Overhead throw over the top rope, sending Balor to the floor. And now Drew McIntyre, I don't think he's done. I don't think Drew is done. Here comes a flying Scotsman. Taking down Finn Balor, and Drew McIntyre is fired up. You can just tell with the hatred these two have for each other. They are willing to do whatever it takes to get the victory here tonight over the other. Balor finally starting to stir and able to back away from McIntyre. And now Balor sending McIntyre to the corner. Now what's going to happen here? Oh, wait a minute. Finn Balor now. There's that shotgun drop kick into the corner. But it's not enough. McIntyre able to get that shoulder up, and Balor, he can't believe it. He thought he had the match won. And now Finn Balor sending McIntyre to the corner. What is the game plan for the Prince? And now springs to the top. Oh my God, what a kick to the side of the head. But that put Drew McIntyre in perfect position. Finn Balor with the coup de grace. Coup de grace by Balor, and it landed flush right on top of Drew McIntyre, but McIntyre. There is still air in the lungs of the Scottish Warrior. And Balor's pissed off. Now he's arguing with referee Adrian Butler. He thought he had the matchup won. He thinks that was a slow count. Oh, a Claymore kick! Claymore kick while Balor was dealing with referee Adrian Butler. There's the shoulder up at 2. The Claymore kick out of nowhere. And unfortunately for Drew McIntyre, it did not work. Both of these men hitting their best shot, but at the end of the day, they're still in the fight. This is exactly the type of match we advertised. We knew these two were going to give it their all. They weren't going to go down easy for each other. And here they are, beating the hell out of each other in the main event in the middle of the T-Mobile Arena. Balor off the ropes now, and spine on the pine. Big spine buster by McIntyre. Is this enough, especially with the momentum of Balor coming off the ropes? Absolutely not. And now McIntyre arguing with referee Adrian Butler now. Both of these guys seem to have problems with the referee. There's a sling blade there by Balor. Finn now with the hold of Drew McIntyre. What is the game plan for the Prince? Sending McIntyre to the outside. He falls on his feet, but Balor now over the top with flying through the air. And the Prince is now the one taking matters into his own hands, taking caution to the wind. Now Balor calling McIntyre to his feet. McIntyre slowly getting up. Now Balor off the apron with that flying clothesline. Putting on for the Judgment Day. There's no Judgment Day alongside Balor here tonight. No JD, no Dominic. I guess they're allowing Finn Balor to take care of this on his own here tonight. They know the tension, the hatred that is between these two. I guess nobody else wanted to get involved in it. Finn Balor wanted to handle the Drew McIntyre problem by himself. Oh, and another Glasgow kiss. But it may seem like Drew McIntyre may be putting the Prince to bed. Not just yet another kick out. What is it going to take, ladies and gentlemen? What is it going to take for one of these men to pick up the victory? Now, what the hell is this? Finn Balor now put on the top rope by McIntyre. What is possibly going to happen here? Look at the strength, the power of McIntyre. Is this a stalling superplex? Oh my God! Stalling superplex by Drew McIntyre. And now McIntyre looking to get into the Boston Crab, and he's got it locked in, and he's wrenching back. Balor in huge trouble. Is McIntyre going to be able to put this one away? Is he going to get the win over Finn Balor in this high-stakes main event? Balor in trouble. He hasn't really moved much. He's stayed in that one spot. It's sure to be hard to move a man as big as Drew McIntyre, especially when he's sitting right on you like that. Finn Balor able to fight out of it. McIntyre taken down by the Prince. Big chop by Balor. Now sends McIntyre to the ropes. Here's Finn Balor with a nice arm drag. Here comes Finn Balor. Big punch there by Balor, trying to keep McIntyre on his toes. And now hip toss there by Balor. And now Finn Balor, he's going to head to the top rope. Finn Balor, big splash down onto McIntyre. Falling into the cover. Surely this is it. McIntyre again says no. You can see Balor, he's starting to get furious now. He doesn't know what he's going to have to do. Going to try to go to the top rope. Once again, is Finn Balor, but McIntyre is there to stop him. And oh, wait a minute here. Well, Drew McIntyre, he's in prime position. Here's the countdown into the Claymore kick. And surely that's going to be enough for Drew McIntyre. Wait a minute here. Well, that's the music of Dirty Dominic Mysterio just when McIntyre hit Finn Balor with that Claymore kick. Is Dominic even here? Is this all a ruse? Wait a damn minute. This was just all a ruse by Finn Balor. Balor now. 1916. Oh, wait. Oh, my God. Finn Balor and the Judgment Day back with their antics. Coup de grace down onto Drew McIntyre. And that puts the Scotsman to bed. Finn Balor and the Judgment Day back with their antics. The music of Dirty Dominic Mysterio hitting, causing a distraction to Drew McIntyre when he was just about to pick up the victory with the second Claymore of the matchup. Just to find out it was all a ruse. Dominic wasn't even here. He did not show face, and that opened the door for Finn Balor to hit the 1916 in this coup de grace for the win.
Here is your winner, Finn Balor.
Drew McIntyre is going to be in some mood after this one. But tonight belongs to the Prince Finn Balor as he gets one up on the Scottish Warrior. Thank you for joining us here tonight for Friday Night SmackDown. We'll see you here next week. Good night from Kansas City and the T-Mobile Arena.